Our next guest is an actor, motivational speaker, best-selling author, dance champion, and U.S. Army veteran, and producer.
Wow.
And
the list goes on.
okay, got to catch my breath. He's also overcome tragedy and won the hearts of Americans everywhere.
And now he's helping others tell their own stories of perseverance and triumph. Joining us to talk about his upcoming book and video project, Champions Among Us, is J.R. Martinez. Welcome to Arise 360.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So how many jobs do you have?
I don't know. Like, it's funny because people, you know, when they reach out to me or my team, they always ask me, they're always confused what they're going to get. They don't really know, like, so is he coming to dance? Is he coming to speak? Is he coming to, what's he coming to host something? And it's like, you know, what do you want? Like, and I think I can kind of do it. So, you know, in the short amount of time that I've had on this earth since my injury, you know, I just have this mentality of trying to go out and get it and do everything and try everything. That's just where it comes from, you know, and I hope that it rubs off on either the people closest to me or the people that are watching at home. You know, but I've been put in a position where my life was almost taken.
Yeah.
I almost died. I mean, not many people in this world can actually say that, and the ones that are able to say that, you notice how they live for the most part. They have this eagerness to kind of fill in every single second of their life, of their day, with something happy, with something productive, for the most part.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's just, you know, this entertainment world is just a fun world to be in, and to be able to play around and to be able to use platforms to educate and entertain. And so for me, I just want to try it all and get as much done as I can in the short amount of time I have.
Let's talk about your latest project, Champions Among Us. Tell us more. You're gathering stories from around the country, from people who haven't clearly inspired you and will be inspiring all of us as well. Tell us more.
So in the last 11 years, because I was injured in 2003, so you know, that's what I'm referring to. I've had people come up to me and just applaud me nonstop for what what I've been through, what I did for this country, but how I've overcome that and how I use it to help other people. And when they applaud me, I always, you know, in a very humble way, I say, you know, thank you very much, but please understand, I'm not the only individual. Because I, in 11 years, have traveled the country, have traveled the world, and I've been able to meet a lot of people that have done the same exact thing that I am doing, that I have done with my life, have taken a tragedy and essentially turned it around to not only live a productive and positive life for themselves, but to now use it to help other people. So I started thinking about this, and I'm like, okay, it's been 11 years. I think I've had my fair share of talking about what's happened to me. It's enough of J.R. Martinez now. Let's get over this guy. But let's start now highlighting those individuals that are in small town America or in maybe big city America that most of the world doesn't know about. So what I'm doing is I'm asking people, if it's your personal story or if you know someone that has essentially had something happen to them but has now used it to now help other people, then go to my website, jrmartinez.com, and submit that story. Because what I'm doing is I'm working on putting a series together where I'm going to go to these individuals, wherever their hometown is, I'm going to go to them, and I'm going to essentially capture their story, highlight what they're doing, highlight what they're all about, and give them some spotlight that they deserve.
Wow, sounds amazing. But why do you think a book and a video project like this is necessary now, and what do you hope people will take away from it?
Well, I think it's necessary because there's so many, I mean, you turn on the news, I mean, you guys know this, I mean, from covering a lot of it, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's happened domestically or internationally, there's all sorts of things that are happening around the world. And people are getting to the point where they're just becoming stressed out, you know, with all the stuff that's going on in the world, you know, just illnesses and the economy still trying to bounce back, and I know people that still, you know, are looking for jobs and or illnesses or just
war,
terrorism, like all of these
yes.
things. You know, it's I think people are slowly starting to kind of like just be pulled down, you know, like over the years, and exactly, being fatigued. And so I think people want to see that, you know what, like. And I'm in this project that I'm working on, it's not just highlighting like 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds. It's highlighting the 10-year-old that as a 10-year-old has been able to do something. Highlighting the 70-year-old that as a 70-year-old, you would normally think, traditionally you would say, well, they're kind of counting down the time that they have left on this earth, but they're still doing stuff.
Well, what are some quick examples of the stories that you've been encountering?
Oh, well, there's one young lady, her name is Chelsea, and she, unfortunately, you know, this is one of those things where you would look at her and say it's a tragedy, it's unfortunate. She was a senior in high school. She was at a party, and she happened to leave the party with her friends, and the driver had been drinking. Got into a car accident. Everyone else walked away completely fine. She's paralyzed from the waist down. Now, this 6 months after, she starts an organization called Walk and Roll. And so she was aspiring to be a professional backup dancer, and apparently she was really good. Heard this from a couple of people. And so she started a troupe of girls that are in wheelchairs that were injured all in different ways. One girl fell off of a horse and a few others in different ways. And they still go out and dance. But now this girl goes out and speaks, to other teens about drinking and driving. She goes out and does motivational speaking. She has this organization that she has a lot of different types of speakers under her that they send them out to different schools to talk about distracting driving, whether it be just drinking, whether it be texting, whether it be any other form. Looking at a girl, which happens to all of us.
I know. I've distracted a few men.
Boom. Sorry. Flattered. But yeah, so, that's just, and you look at her and she's in this wheelchair and she talks about, when I met with her, she's talking about going out on all these dates. She has this bubbly personality. She wants to go to school, to college and get a business degree to take her organization and be like one of the biggest organizations out there in the world. It's just inspiring. You would think that a girl would say, I put myself in that position. I made a horrible choice. I can't show my face to the world because all they're going to do is laugh at me. Instead, she says, I made a mistake. I was a kid. I made a mistake. My friends, we made a mistake. But I'm speaking out to try to save a life and try to save a life from possibly being in this position that I'm in or possibly even have an opportunity to even live at all. So it's just truly amazing. Like, I think that people, when they're gonna have the opportunity to learn about these individuals, is they're gonna realize that everybody has a story. Yes. Everybody has a story. And two,
your story in particular, though, was something that inspired a number of people across the world. In 2003, you were injured.
Yeah.
And you survived a horrific tragedy. What got you through that period in your life, and what made you decide that you would persevere and move on?
Well, there was a number of things. One, it started initially with my mother giving me a good old-fashioned talk, when I was kind of stuck in this phase of questioning and doubt and just self-pity and just all the victim symptoms that, come with that.
In a nutshell, really quickly, you were hit by a roadside bomb.
I was in Iraq in 2003, and I was driving a Humvee and ran over a roadside bomb and was trapped inside the vehicle, was burned 34% of my body. But the biggest threat at the time was the inhalation damage that I endured while being trapped inside of the vehicle. Inhalation damage, yeah, sorry. And so, when I came out of my coma, I was in a coma for 3.5 weeks. And when I came out, of course, I was in a state of confusion. I was 19 years old. Of course, living in the visual world, I thought to myself, there's no way I'll be able to kind of walk amongst the public for the rest of my life without having to endure so many stares and people being afraid of me, avoidance. And needless to say, like I said, my mother, and then it just came down to me one day talking to a service member that I was starting his recovery process, and I shared with him, and I saw that I was able to have a positive impact. And then I just kept realizing, it's not so bad. I started meeting other people that had been through something similar, and they survived, and they went on to live productive lives. And it just slowly started to build my confidence. Then I started speaking, and it gave me a good feeling. I started talking. It gave me the opportunity to do therapy in a sense, and with everybody watching me on television, to talk about my issues. If I was speaking, to talk about it in front of hundreds of people. So and plus, listen, I'm 31 years old. I'm a human being. I'm not this robot. I'm not a superhero. I'm a human being, and I still, till this day, wake up every single morning and make that choice to be positive, make that choice to go out there and just have a great day and try to my best of my ability to make the most out of every situation. So it's something that we all have to, take into account, just make that choice every single day, and you have the choice.
Well, you actually went through 34 months of recovery surgery. What was it that helped you continue making that choice to live on? And did you ever consider giving up?
I did consider giving up. Now, I never got to the place, let me clarify, I never got to the place of essentially thinking I was going to take my life. I never thought about, I wondered if I would have been better off if I would have never been pulled out of the Humvee in Iraq and just died there. But I never thought about actually taking my life. Never got to that point. You know what, I guess what really boils down to, what really helped me get through was the fact that when I joined the military, I was thinking I was going to do 3 years. When I was injured, they told me that I was never going to be able to go back to the military to do the job that I did, which was infantry. By helping other service members, by talking to them, by visiting with them, what it did is it gave me the opportunity to feel like I can still be a service. I was able to help. I was able to affect another life. Yeah. And that's kind of what kept me going, to be honest with you, is feeling, it's almost like when you have children and you feel like, I can't leave this world. My child needs me. I almost felt that way with my peers, my comrades. They need me. I'm a voice for them.
You're a real American hero. So thank you so much. But really quickly, let's shift gears. Can we talk about Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah, let's do it. I love it when the guys get excited about Dancing with the Stars. Yes.
You showed us this, you can move. I was like, oh, maybe I can move too.
You got the moves like Jagger.
Right. That was Carson Kressley. He danced to that song, so I'll let him claim that one. But it's funny because people always ask me.
So they call you and you say yes immediately, or
yeah.
Why?
Why did I say yes?
So a lot of people run from the mirror ball.
No.
Ran after it.
I gravitated to it. The reason why is because I understood the magnitude of that show. Yeah. I understood the platform that it was going to give me. Not only me personally in my life, but I understood what it was going to do for a lot of people watching me. I don't represent myself. I represent a lot of people. You see me here, I'm looking right into the camera right now, and I'm not, I'm talking about J.R. Martinez myself, but there's a lot of people on the other side of that camera that are essentially kind of relating and connecting with me for various reasons.
And doctors told you that you wouldn't be able to walk at one point.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're up there dancing, samba.
Doing a samba.
Not only dancing, you won the mirror ball.
Yeah, I won. Which is, like I said, it was great. It was a great platform. What it did is it humanized me. It humanized me, and because prior to dancing, I was known as the veteran, the guy that was injured in Iraq, the guy that was burned. After dancing, I was the guy that, he's funny, like he has a personality, he can dance, he can move. Like some people looked at me and said, he's sexy. Completely opposite of what I was exposed to prior to that show. So that show allowed me to go into people's homes every Monday night and say, I'm a human being. I'm just a guy, and I'm a kid at times, the way I act, but I just want to live life and have fun, and let's get down. Let's dance every single night. Let's do that.
Okay, so who are you rooting for in the new season? It just kicked off.
Karina Smirnoff. I mean, that's my girl. We won. I got to stick with her. And Randy. Randy. I don't know. I wasn't able to catch the premiere, but I don't know how well he did. But
you missed Lolo Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Right. I saw. Poor
Moving right along. So what's next for you?
Yeah, poor Lolo. She's so beautiful too. And I wanted to see her really get down.
I know.
I think everybody did.
I know.
But she's thinking about it too much.
That's the problem.
That's the problem with contestants on that show. They overthink it.
Gotcha.
They get caught up in thinking about like millions of people are watching them. Just have fun. So my next thing to your question, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just going to work on this concept of getting the stories out. So if more people can go to the website and submit a story, hopefully I'll be coming to your area, your town, and telling your story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your story and so many others.
JRMartinez.com.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you so much for your time.
Do you want to dance us off set?
I can cha-cha right off of this thing.
And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.
You really want me to cha-cha?
Yeah, let's try.